Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This is going to be probably the most disturbing video that I'm going to talk about since it's a mass shooting and it has to do with 18-year-old Salvador Ramos. So he decided, I'm pretty sure you guys all aware, I don't need to put too much detail, but he literally kills 20 people. The majority happen to be 19 children and one teacher. And the reason why and what's crazy is that one thing is very true, one thing you notice about these serial killers is they actually confess to their crimes before they actually commit it. So they let people know on social media because there have been DMs. He was telling this woman that he has a secret. It's not a secret anymore once he decided to share with somebody on social media, and that he had some guns and that someone should repost it. These are the guns that he's talking about. So he managed to purchase two rifles, assault rifles, and these are the guns that he was going to use against the elementary school because from based on the info that I gathered, the reason why he decided to go out with this massacre, that he decided to move forward and go through with it, is because he was bullied back in school. I don't know if if it was in also middle school, high school, but they did talk about how in elementary school he was bullied because of his speech impediment. He has a speech impediment apparently, even though he doesn't look like that kind of person. And that he had an addiction. He had not only was he raised by drug addicts, but also he was forced to live with his grandmother due to that reason. And when he tried to hang out with people, is that the like whether it was in middle school, high school, is that there were rumors that he would come off as being weird, that he used to have scars across his cheeks, and people questioned him, and then he said, "Don't worry about it," as well as his neighbor that was disturbed by the incident because before he asked him, "Why do you need that many rifles?" Because you think because maybe he believed he was worried because he thought maybe he not only did he not have the money, is that he was out to get somebody considering his age. And not only that, like, I also forgot to mention, he actually shot his grandmother in the face. I'm not even sure if it's in the face or head, but she managed to survive. And obviously, a lot of the reason behind it was because he failed high school. He could not be able to graduate. And that was the triggering point, was because his grandmother was arguing with him. And that he decided, no, I'm gonna have to do some real damage. And what's even weird is that like the news outlet tries to bring up his addiction for Call of Duty as if that has something to do with his persona. Though I truly don't believe video games are the cause. If anything, it has to do with his upbringing, where he's coming from, and how the way he's been treated. Also, that could be the reason. I personally don't believe that video games are the cause because how many people? How can you prove that video games are causing people to become mass shooters? There's several out there, and I talked about another mass shooter. Like there was no history of him being a massive Call of Duty player or shooting a gaming shooter, a gamer who plays tons of shooting video games. Still doesn't add up. Like there's a lot that could revolve around them being massive shooters because yeah, there was no justifying massacres. It's like parents have to be worried when they drop their kids to school, and like it does not just apply to Texas because after this incident, now a lot of the majority, I don't know if it's all, you can't say all parents, but the majority of parents are gonna have second thoughts when they have kids, whether it's safe to bring their kids to school nowadays, especially with this incident, because this is not the first where several kids were massacred, and I can guarantee you the parents are 100% grieving. The ones who've lost their kids, my condolences go to them, and I can 100% tell that they are grieving, that they know they feel whether maybe it's their fault for bringing them there, but they 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 should not be taking the blame because this can happen anywhere. We don't know what people are going through. It is unpredictable. And this man, the thing was like, it should not be unpredictable since this man admitted on social media that he was willing to go after these kids. And decide to start a massacre at the like a rampage at the elementary school, and that's really pathetic. This guy deserves everything that's come to him. Oh, yeah, even though he got what he deserved, he died. But I feel like that was an easy punishment. He got away. He got away easily. He he didn't have to be tortured. He didn't have to go through lots of pain, because the moment you die, you leave the world. But like the good thing is, yeah, he won't be able to harm anybody. But I feel like it wasn't the punishment wasn't enough. But it really sucks for the parents. It really sucks because especially for the mothers went through all the trouble raising them, giving birth to them, and you find out later the next day or when you're on your way to school to pick up your kid, this happens. You find out your kid has been deceased by someone who has mental issues, obviously is willing to admit all these things on social media, willing to incriminate themselves. And that's where it's like this 18-year-old should have known better. Even if this is true, like, there's really no excuse about whether he was bullied back in the past. Because I was bullied in the past, but does not mean I'm going to take it out on random people. That's what he's doing. Clearly, he is 100% wrong. He wants to take it out on random people because they are the most vulnerable. And he wants to blame, and he wants to also bring up his past. People were brought up his past, how he was bullied in elementary school. Like, how's the other kid's fault? Like, the thing is, you should personally, if I'm not saying you should go out and kill people, but you should take it out on the people who actually bullied you, who actually were the problem. Like, name the people, mark the people, describe the people who had made you go through hell during those like dreadful days, during the days where you had no choice but to go to school, but to get your education, to be able to succeed and be able to live life easier. Which I'm not feeling any sympathy for this man whatsoever. He should know better. Just because he lived like he had a poor childhood because the way people treated him does not mean I'm gonna have sympathy for him after what he did. And even if he was alive, he would never be forgiven. Trust me, never in my life will I forgive somebody like him who goes out and takes out innocent people. Like I said, it's only justified if it's self-defense. If you have some type of grudge match with somebody and you're willing to, and it's face to face with somebody who has not learned their lesson, who's willing to confront you, who has an issue with you, and it's between two men, then I can't really judge because that is their business. Because I feel like self-defense these days should be justified because people look at it and try to put it in reverse, claiming that it was an assault, that it was a random attack, that the person just decided to go ballistic and just decide to beat them up or potentially kill them. But we can't really judge because we're not in that situation. We have to see it based on both perspectives, what was going on, especially if it's self-defense. I 100% justify it because you don't know. The people these days are unpredictable, and whether they're having a bad day or not, they have no problem taking out on random people. And like I said, if it's between two men and they've been having issues for a while now, and they realize it's got to the point where they're gonna have to duke each other, duke it out with one another, then let it happen, let it be, until one of them suffers, until one of them realizes that this needs to come to an end. And the good thing is that although the massacre has come to an end, too many of kids have lost their lives, and the parents are gonna have to live with this for the rest of their lives. The ones who lost their kids, and again, my condolences goes to them. And although there has been justice, I feel like at the same time it just wasn't enough. Because yeah, they may have not been able to apprehend him, but at the same time they managed to kill him, which is a good thing. Because imagine how much harm he would have done had he fled the area. He would definitely try to do this again, try to cause another massive shooting, another rampage. Had he been alive, this man should never have been alive. But I'm saying at the same time, he should have suffered a bit more. He should have been tortured. Someone should have grabbed him. A group of people should have grabbed him. They should beat him till his face is all bloodied up, until he has more scarring, like he talked about. How he scratched his cheeks. Even the neighbor said like he was worried. Even the neighbor said like he had a bad feeling that this was gonna happen. And I think the issue was maybe had he spoken up sooner before this happened, maybe this could have stopped. Maybe this could have been prevented easily. Who knows? But again, those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.